Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Talking Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Dale around Yaks Ben. We have a fantastic show for you. New Living World episode is coming next week. New raid, upgradable armor, and upgradable instance next week. Gah! ArenaNet updates. They got a new website and much more. And I'm losing my voice. Jeez, it's all crazy. First, let me introduce you to my fellow host. He is moderator over at MMO Champion and host of Zero to Hero on this channel and Vote to Kick. We have the new Living Stories, and soon it feels like we've been waiting 10 years. Say hello to Jim.
I don't know about 10 years. It's been a while.
It has in my heart.
I think you can handle it. Just another few days. You can do it, Deo. I believe in you.
Oh, I hope so. And we pulled him from the Silver Waste, from all the memes, our giant meme lord. Can I say memes even more? Can we make him a meme? Yeah, let's do that, internet. Come on, let's do that. He streams over on twitch.tv/GuildWarsMonk, and you can find him on Twitter at GuildWarsMonk. Say hello to Aaron.
Am I really the meme lord? That makes me sad.
You were always our meme lord.
That makes me sad. Oh. No, I'm joking, guys. What's up? I'm excited. Excited about Living World, guys. Pumped.
I don't believe you.
Dude, I am though. I am, guys. It's gonna be a good discussion today. Can't wait.
Chat saying memerin. It almost sounds like a new ascended material.
Sounds like the name of a mermaid king.
Well, there you go. Congratulations.
I mean, it's all those swim speed infusions and ascended aqua breathers.
I mean, internet, look at that. The 4-box, you already have the top half. Mermaid King Aaron right there.
That's true. I like, because you never see the bottom of people on Twitch, right? So you don't know what could be happening underneath the
Oh my
edge
god,
of
I think we just figured it out.
Yeah, I could be sitting in a basin of water right now because, you don't want your scales getting dry.
Who else would know that but the Mermaid King?
No, we ran that joke into the ground.
Yes.
It's a good bit.
All
guys.
right, let us jump right into it. So,
What show am I on?
I don't even know anymore. Occasionally we talk about Guild Wars 2. So Living World Season 4, I think it came out Wednesday. They actually dropped the teaser trailer for it. And oh my. So the next episode will actually drop Tuesday, so it's not like you gotta wait a whole lot of a time. But as you can see here, here's the video playing in the background here. The new story is A Star to Guide Us. And it does heavily seem like it revolves around Irene and maybe our bond with her. But how did you guys like the trailer? I mean,
I was much more muted than Long Live the Lich. I feel like this is the second act, like, build up, so I'm not surprised that it's a little less bombastic. But it was nice.
Yeah, I agree with Jim. Obviously, we kind of had our mid-season finale in episode 3, right? So we're starting a new story arc. So obviously, there's not going to be the big crescendo in this episode. This is going to be the beginning of something. What I do like to see is that we are focusing on Irene, because one thing we don't know a lot about in Guild Wars 2 is what dragons are and what it means to be a dragon in the universe of Guild Wars 2. They're kind of just these big ambiguous things, right? So I'm interested to continue to watch the growth of a dragon in this universe and kind of find out more about what being a dragon in Guild Wars 2 is.
oh, that's interesting. So you think we'll actually learn about the elder dragons through Arena as she's being raised, because that actually makes a lot of sense. Like, instead of like learning, like, I think we've always looked at it before we knew about Arena. I always looked at it, was like, oh, the Order of Whispers always talked about the cycles and they must have some kind of knowledge of, but yeah, I for some reason didn't even consider it's like, oh, with all this happening and how it's, shaping up and how she's aging and stuff, we could probably learn about the elder dragons by I guess mainly almost forging a new one.
Yeah,
Possibly.
exactly. I don't know how they're going to take us down that route, but I think, or like, obviously we have a problem with the Elder Dragons. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. What are you gonna do? And then we have Aurene in the story for so far kind of ambiguous reasons. So obviously, I think those two plot points are going to resolve each other. I could be wrong. Could go a different way, but that's kind of what I'm banking on.
Well, then I'm going to assume that the entire buildup of, honestly, the Path of Fire, like, I think the resolution before the next expansion is going to be Aurene taking Kralkatorrk's power. That's my personal theory on this, is Aurene will take Kralkatorrk's place.
So do you think...
balance of magic thing.
Do you think Aurene will make it okay for us to kill Elder Dragons?
It's one of those things where it's like the Forgotten had their plan, right? Where we need to replace the linchpins of magic of Tyria with entities that aren't just forces of nature consuming and sleeping. They need to be thinking, intelligent creatures that will not just completely not care for the mortal races of Tyria. Because as far as we know, the Elder Dragons are immortal in a way, because it's not like we've ever heard of a dragon dying of old age. So it's one of those things where we have to replace them, but that's like the only entity we have that can replace one of the linchpins of the cycle of magic is Aurene right now. She is the only entity we have that's capable of doing it.
Well, and Mithrin in chat makes a good point, that in Kesho we heard the Forgotten's plan of replacing each Elder Dragon with a cleansed entity, right? And that you would want to replace each entity and not just have a single one. I'm curious as to how we can change the rules, though, right? Because that's kind of been the theme of the commander going through the Guild Wars 2 story, is that the commander says, screw the rules. We're going to find a new way, right? So I'm kind of curious, can Aurene be a single benevolent overlord?
Honestly, I worry about that because that's too simple. Like, that would feel cheap as a resolution to me.
Yeah, just be like, oh, we've got this dragon, so it's cool if we go back to murdering Elder Dragons. No, it's fine. Like, it's kind of like an excuse, right?
Right.
Just like, nah, we can do more dragon fights. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, I was just trying to see if anybody else in chat was saying anything, but yeah, I kind of can't wait to see. Like you guys said, I think this is going to be maybe a more slow rolling part of the story, like almost the beginning ramp ups of this second half of what seems like possibly going to take on Kralkatorrk. I mean,
because Kralkatorrk's all we have left, right? As far as currently ongoing area.
Yeah.
Well, we already know from resolution with Balthazar is that Jormag and Prime Mortis are back into a more stable sleep. So they are no longer active. They are now more like the destroyers and the can't remember Jormag's minions right now.
Ice Brood.
The Ice Brood. The destroyers and the Ice Brood are not they're not being directed so much anymore by like the dragon's will, because the dragons are just kind of back to sleeping. So there's not a problem there. But Kralkatorrk is the only one that we know of that is currently up, active, and wreaking some large scale havoc. So it's really the only target we have right now.
I mean, we're awfully close to the water in some of these areas.
Yeah, technically the water dragon, I don't think... Do we have record of it actually... Right, because that's theoretically what pushed the Quaggan out onto the land, right? Because the water dragon pushed the crate out of the deep sea, and the crate pushed the
yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they ever directly said it was the deep sea dragon. It was more like the Quaggan got pushed up by the crate, and I think it kind of hints at the crate were kind of pushed up by the ancient creatures, the Karka. The Karka were, pulled up by some, ran from something as well. But
got the Largos hanging around too, and we never saw them.
Yeah.
It's like all these deep sea things are coming out.
I want like the main city in whatever Bubbles themed expansion we have to be just a massive Largos city, because that would just be really freaking cool.
Oh, dude, like the Gungan city from Phantom Menace.
You beat me to it. I was gonna try to make a Phantom Menace joke of like having those weird ship things, and that's how we have to get down to it. Like,
I mean, guys, we already have aqua breathers. We're halfway there, all right. We're halfway.
That's why they're giving us the swim speed so we can get to that underwater city faster.
I have so many problems with the portrayal of the Quaggan in the movies, but I'm not going to get into it right now because this is not a Star Wars podcast.
Dude, did you really just call the Gungans the Quaggan?
Probably, yeah, because they're basically Quaggan. Yeah, I did that. Fuck it. Guild Wars 2. No more Star Wars.
Interchangeable.
Chat's saying the water dragon pushed the crate and cargo way deep underwater. Then those displaced creatures pushed the Quaggan, and north it was Jormag pushing the Quaggan away. Okay, yeah, it's
the deep sea dragon has not made an active attempt at anything on land. So,
I mean, it's getting away from the trailer. Trailer, but all I'm saying is water dragon, Cantha, it's gonna happen.
There you go. So how do you guys like that they've kind of quickly displayed at the very end, like all the things that were going to be in the, at least maybe not all the things, but the majority of the big kind of features that are coming in the release, which was like, you know, the story, the new area, which we'll talk about in a minute, but kind of generally, do you like that concept of, you know, they show the new, they showed like the name of the new mastery. They told us about it in the blog post. You know, they said the new legendary scepter, you know, new raid wing, like they kind of all had that there on the last like little card. Like, this is the best part of the trailer, that final ending card, because the trailer itself, because we were talking about earlier, didn't really get me very hyped. I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I wasn't like excited until they're like, here's all these new features. I'm like, that's what gets me hyped about a patch, when I know that a lot of sweet new stuff is coming down the pipe.
Well, that's one of,
oh, go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
It's just this is the trailer is more to get people hyped for the story. The end card is for the people who are looking for features. So yeah. I kind of like that they have the split there. That's a good idea. So it works.
Yeah, and I think as personally as somebody who kind of plays the game, I love the world building and I enjoy the story, but I play it. The thing that keeps me playing the game is just that I think it's a good game and I enjoy the content. So that's what gets me the most excited these days, are the vast amounts of content that drop in alongside the story with Living Worlds. So when I saw, you know, we've got a new mastery, that's gonna be nice to train up. It's gonna take like 2 seconds, but you know, what are you gonna do? New legendary. Guys, I wasn't super pumped about the new legendary when I saw the picture, but when they released the video, I'm into that new legendary scepter. And new armor set, guys. Oh, lots of good stuff. Oh, and the instance, guys, the instance. So much good stuff coming.
But I kind of agree with what Chat's saying. It kind of fits the teaser definition more, because yeah, it is kind of more of a setup. Like, it shows little bits of the new areas, but it kind of showed, you know, your kind of adventure with Arena. And
I just hope it's not another play games with Arena one. That instance made me want to uninstall.
She's now like a moody teenager, so it's, you know.
Yeah, so are we gonna bring her a bunch of pamphlets and be like, summer camp? Soccer camp?
Going to military school.
Yeah, you know, yeah, just like try to be like, what do dragons like?
We could just walk into a packed camp and just be like, military school?
Yeah, right,
because,
yeah.
Like we're technically still the commander, despite the fact that they don't like us being the commander.
I know, we were like, hey, we're not the commander anymore, and then we just go around being like, I'm the commander, though.
It's like, okay, but we're still going to follow you.
It's like they explicitly, and I'm waiting for the court-martial stuff to come back. Ritlock hasn't said shit about it.
Yeah. But also, and I see what Chat's, like, some of the stuff Chat's bringing up earlier was, while this didn't show a lot, like, the actual, like, little, fan kit thing that they had in the blog post actually showed off a cool couple scenes. Here's the screenshots of like some of the areas, but as it goes through, you'll see one that's like looks like a Shatterer. I don't know if that's going to be the meta for this. There it is right there, but like it also has kind of a green thing going on. Like, is this a Mordramoth touched one? Maybe it's a Risen touched one? Like, is it both? Is it? But
yeah, it definitely looks like the same skin as the Shatterer. And like we said, like they've already established the Shatterer is
like a title.
a reusable, it's just a minion that Krakator keeps generating. So there's theoretically multiple Shatterers out there. So this could totally be one. I just hope the mechanics are updated, right? Like I hope they just don't just drop a Shatterer and be like, there you go. So hopefully, if that's a boss of some sort, the mechanics will be
it's one of the things I have to admit, that's one of the things I've been like wondering about, because we've only seen the death touched and the vine touched minions for the Iceberg and the Destroyers. We haven't seen it affecting Krakatoric yet, and it was made to seem like the different aspects of magic kind of balance out across the remaining dragons. So I was wondering when we were going to get, vine touched or death touched branded.
Mm-hmm. And they did put that stuff in the story, and I was like, when they came out with that, I was like, that's kind of cool. They didn't really do much with it though. Like they're like, they're green now. That was kind of they retained.
They had like pulsing poison auras, and honestly, the death touched and the vine touched suck to deal with.
They got a little nastier. The big culmination of that were those two death touch destroyers in Draconis Mons that are the MAAD bosses. Those were pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could, like me and Dale were talking about before the show, if they could re-implement a world boss on the scale of like Shatterer or Tequatl, that would be pretty neat, because I feel like we haven't seen a good one of those in a while.
Mm-hmm. Chat saying during the attack on Amnoon, there was branded using death powers. So, well,
okay, yeah, I must have missed that as well.
Okay. I was gonna say, even if they're corrupted, if it's one, like, did it actually say like Risen or death touched one, or because I was gonna say if they corrupt like a human type thing, can't they still use their magic prowess? Like, I mean,
I have no, like, we still don't,
because I don't honestly know which I didn't notice it either. I just was, but
I mean, I'm sure it's there because it was implemented before then, right? So it's perfectly possible that it would have been there. But yeah, I missed that as well.
I've only ever played through all the story stuff once for Path.
Oh, dude, you got to do it on every character.
I'm not you, man.
Every character has to go through the story, guys.
Though they did talk about in the blog post a new mastery, Bond of Vigor, and unlock the ability to temporarily increase your mount's endurance regeneration. So,
OP.
Oh my god!
I was like, combine that with a roller beetle.
Yeah, it's pretty much just for it's for the roller beetle. That's what this mastery's for. It's for the roller beetle.
Just so you all know, Age put in a initial D reference to Deja Vu, so that's in the show notes right now.
That exists.
It's a thing.
But yeah, no, it's to make the beetle not terrible, right? So
honestly,
at least with one map, the beetle will be good.
Honestly, I think people would like the beetle more if there were more of the beetle racing things. There's only the one.
Yeah.
Well, I think people make courses for it in their guild halls, right? If I'm not mistaken. Which is kind of fun, but it's a lot of work on the player's part, right? So yeah.
If they gave us the ability to create stuff like that, because the thing with the races is the checkpoints immediately max out your endurance. So that's the only reason that the race was any kind of fun, is because every checkpoint you just immediately boost and you're drifting everywhere. So unless they, like, honestly, I was just thinking about the water, like most of Gilded Hollow is water, right? If you have the beacons placed properly, you can have a beetle race that's 100% over water, and you have to time it properly so you stay skipping over the water.
Yeah, I think players would enjoy that because there's like whole guilds that are dedicated just to like beetle racing shenanigans. So it would be nice. It'll be nice to have this mastery because I think that'll open up this map as maybe like a beetle hub. Like this is the map you go to if you want to have beetle time. So
Beetle time.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a nice mastery for the beetle, man. It's also going to be OP on the raptor, right? So
yeah,
we'll
a
see
lot
how
of
that
jumps.
goes. Yeah,
A lot of leaps.
mm-hmm.
It's power creep for racing events.
A little bit, but it's just one map, so they can go as crazy as they want with it.
I was say, please don't let that be a news story of power creep for mount races. And
Actually, if you want a kind of a theory with the implementation of this mastery, how it could kind of spiral. If they implemented this mastery alongside a repeatable map meta that gave high reward, you could have a new top dog gold farm in the game. Because mobility plus gold farm equals good times. Good times in your wallet.
yeah, you ain't wrong.
Yeah, so you could be looking at the new meta gold farm for PvE.
Though, you can just zoom around silver waste faster. Won't that even be better?
Well, I mean, because the masteries for living world maps only work on the map that they come with, right? I'm not
I
mistaken.
don't think so.
No, I can use the bond that swaps your health pool with your mount. You can use that anywhere.
Oh yeah, you can use that anywhere. I just assumed this would only work on this map. I guess if it does, if it's going to work everywhere.
Mastery, it's everywhere once you get it.
Does it say that in the blog post?
It doesn't say it doesn't, but I'm going to assume it's the same way.
I was going to say, because there is precedence for both sides, but it's usually
I
like,
would assume it the other
way.
way. I would assume it to be only on the map.
Yeah, the vine things in Draconis Mons, I mean, you can't really use that. Well, there's a decoration that you can put in your guild hall.
The better one is for Bloodstone Fen with the glider powers.
Yeah.
But so far with mounts, they're adding utility skills to the mounts, basically. So,
dude, I mean, if this was a multi-map mastery, dude, Silver Waste Reba, dude, could you get 3 chest runs in one go?
Oh god, here we go.
Oh, dude, 3 chest laps on Silver Waste. Oh, dude. Now I'm excited. Guys.
Well, hopefully that will be the case. So you can,
dude. Silver Waste could finally overtake Istan. If you could get another chest lap in, it would be better than Istan.
Oh, I'm fighting words there.
Gold farming wars, guys. Gold farming wars.
That's what.
Well, you'll need to you'll definitely need to farm up some gold, because if you're trying to go after that new legendary, it is actually a scepter. So they announced it is the scepter. I will probably butcher this name, but the Zequatl.
Actually, I think that's close.
Yeah, it's about as good as I could come up with.
It's either Z or Zuquatl, but
that's what I was kind of bouncing between. Chad, do you have a preference of the name? Or did they actually say it at some point? Because I do not remember.
I didn't actually I saw the picture of it. I didn't.
The picture does not do it justice. The video does it justice.
Now, my question is the little pet, is that a mini pet, or is that
that's the
that is a legendary effect.
Yeah, that's the legendary effect, and some of the screenshots in the they're saying Shiukuatl. So
so
it makes kind of a sound. Interesting.
XI. Okay. So you actually pronounce the XI and then the U.
Okay. Yeah, guys, I don't know anything about that kind of stuff, so I'm in desperate need of education in that department.
Etymology is fun.
Yeah. But like Aaron's saying, that is actually a effect on your weapon, which they actually give you kind of a close up in the little bundle of screenshots that they give you in the blog post.
I dig that. Thanks, Savage. If you do a Google search, you can find that Shiquatl is the spirit form of the Aztec fire god, that form being a turquoise serpent.
And
I mean, they hit the nail on the head then.
Yeah. Actually, here's the close up kind of it. Well, as close as they provided, but so yeah, that's pretty spot on. So I do apologize. It's just Shia. So
Yeah,
but
that
yeah.
I wasn't in the, like I said, when I saw the picture in the blog post, I was, or in the trailer, I was like, eh. But when they showed the video of the walking, the one thing the picture in the trailer don't do justice is the size of the scepter. It's a huge scepter.
Yeah.
Guys. And the walking video really shows that off. Also, the lighting in the image and in the trailer don't show off the aura very well. The aura around the scepter is dope. And then obviously you get a dragon.
They should just stop doing screenshots for the legendaries because they never do them any kind of justice.
No. Well, I mean, they did claw the Connor justice and how terrible it is. But no, this one this one was definitely not done justice by the screenshot.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's one of the worst legendaries. But this one is this one's amazing, guys. I'm actually considering it might be a down the road project for my Necro. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kind of. Go ahead.
I don't know. It's kind of like, I feel like does the serpent attack with you? There's so many options with this.
I don't think they have confirmed anything either way, but I did hear some people mentioning that. I'd be surprised. Maybe just a visual thing would be cool.
Right.
But I know some people were like talking like, oh, it should attack for you. And I'm like, I hope you don't think it should add damage, because then that would be...
Yeah, no, it shouldn't add extra packets of damage. But
no, but they just mean the animation. Like say you wave your scepter and like the dragon shoots out like a ball of green like magic.
Yeah.
At the end, that'd be cool. I'd be down with that. But yeah, having like I like that they're, with the last few legendaries in particular, they've been really playing around with how far they can push the effects of legendary weapons. Like one of my favorite legendaries ever is Binding of Ippos. I think that's one of their most creative ones. And then this is also pushing the bounds of their creativity with what they can put into a legendary weapon. It's a pretty sweet item.
Hat brings up a good point, like the spear, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce, the unique effect on crits for it.
There's a unique effect on crits for the underwater, the shark spear.
I'm going to assume, because Most Excellent Hat just said that there is basically...
I was going to say, has anybody made...
For the 4 people that never made it.
Yeah, I was going to say, has anybody ever made the underwater legendary weapons?
I know there are several people who have made the underwater legendary weapons.
I actually think Tatey in chat, I think she has all of them.
Wow.
Honestly, like, at the very least, I want them to bring spears to land, because there are so many options using spears in some way, shape, or form as a weapon that I think they're just kind of languishing as only underwater weapons.
Well, that and the fact that a spear, like historically, spears are like the weapon for military basic foot soldiers to have. Like, if you could not afford any other weapon, you had a spear. So it's kind of silly to not have spears in your like the akin historical period to Guild Wars 2 would be late medieval, right? So it's kind of silly to not have spears available on land, for sure. So I wish that was a thing.
Oh, chat saying actually forks. Come on, Aaron. You can't have facts on the internet. And
yeah, of course, no forks, guys. You went in with your little dual wheel. Yeah, Zechariah says pitchforks. Yeah, pitchforks for sure.
Then they all went and played fork knife.
That one hurt, Deo.
I'm glad. It was a
no
crit. But yeah, next up, they also announced, because it talked about in the trailer a little bit, but they gave us a little bit more information on the new raid wing, the Mythrite Gambit. So they provide us with a video, and actually it takes place in the Mystic Forge? Like, what?
This is their most creative idea for a raid wing so far by a country mile. This is pretty cool.
I'd agree.
This is like the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for raiders. know what I'm saying?
I know, I'm scared. It's like anything could happen. Like,
yeah, no, they could just do whatever they want. Like,
show notes to share from Age. He's going back in for all the rares and exotics he's thrown in over the years.
I think we all are or want to. Definitely a step in the right direction with a trailer for raids. Yeah, it seems like Zomaros is inviting you in, and he just says there's one problem. And it kind of focuses on that, what looks like a red djinn. So, I guess that might. I don't know if that's the raid boss or like the end raid boss or, but it's kind of funny. Like as you're seeing here, it's like showing kind of Winter's Day stuff and some Halloween stuff and like different like basically all the stuff that we probably thrown in.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see what cool ideas they have for Jinn bosses. Like, because obviously I don't raid, right? But I'll watch the stuff on YouTube to because I do like their raid encounter design. So I'm excited to see what they come up with for unique mechanics and just visual boss design and stuff like that.
Is anyone else
get creative?
Oops, sorry. I thought you were done. You good? Okay. Is anyone else happy just to see the fact that his helpers in the Forge are Skritt?
Skritt. Oh, this is probably like they're heaven to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he probably doesn't even have to pay them. They're just like you can sleep on the shiny pile. Done.
So I do have a question here. Zomaros is effectively a greater Jinn, right? He's like one of the most powerful Jinn we're aware of.
Yeah, he's I don't know, like we don't have any idea of like the Jinn hierarchy, right? Okay. But Zomaros is next level. Like in anime terms, he's next level.
So my only thought here is that like the Jinn we have run into all seem to have relatively defined spheres of influence and power. I'm just wondering, like, they could just do all kinds of crazy shit with this because, like you said, next level. Like, we have no frame of reference to deal with Zomaros.
Yep. Do you guys think, actually, one thing I didn't get out of the trailer that I might just not know, is Zomaros himself actually going to be a boss in this?
That's an interesting thing because, how we were just moments ago saying the Skritt might have been helping him. Chat's saying maybe it looks like they're throwing their stuff into portals. Maybe they're ruining it. Maybe we're helping him, or maybe he even turns on us if we're helping him. Who knows?
Like there are Skritt stuck in the Forge and he wants them gone.
Yeah,
maybe it's a random chance if we help him or fight him.
Man, that would kind of suck if they give us this cool Mystic Forge Jinn raid and the final boss is a Skritt. That would be a bummer.
And I kind of like Red Wolf's idea is that, but turn that on its head. Make it gray item drops that have scribbled notes drop off of trash in the Mystic Forge, and it's random Mystic Forge recipes that are written on them. Obfuscated a little bit, so you kind of have to put some thought into it, but
QED says it'll be really disappointing if the Zomaros bench isn't a toilet. That'd be on point.
Also, if we could choose a precursor, I doubt that'll be the reward, but that would be a nice incentive for people probably to go into raids.
I mean, maybe a Gen 1 precursor. I mean, they just give those away like candy now, right? So might as well. Unless it's me, in which case you'd just be like, yeah, you don't get one.
I was thinking about this, like maybe like playing on the whole idea of, people throwing stuff in the Mystic Forge. It's like, what if like there was a boss fight where you had to fight and random stuff would just be falling from the sky, and if it hits you, you'd take damage, and it'd be like kind of like what you're kind of seeing in the video right now. Like maybe that's during the fight is people flushing all this stuff down and you have to dodge it, and just creates
like all the stuff that players are putting, all the rares that players are putting in there just come falling out of the sky.
Maybe there's like a mystic coin phase, so it's like small little coins falling from the sky. And
can you pick them up though? That's the question.
Oh, I was thinking that like that'd be that it would feel great if it was like how ArenaNet tends to do things. What if you got to pick them up, but then all of a sudden Zomaros is like, you're not leaving with those, and like just like cast something over you and like it disintegrates those mystic coins in your. So you know, at first you're like, yes, this is great, and you're like, oh man.
But like it actually legit puts a stack of mystic coins in your inventory only to have it evaporate. That'd be a good troll. That'd be solid.
But yeah. I was thinking about that. Yeah, basically trolling the player base, which, you know, ArenaNet tends to like to do from time to time.
Every now and then.
I think that would be a good way to do it, but Defiance Bar phase where the boss is trying to suck up all the mystic coin or mystic clovers meant to go out of the forge. Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, this kind of reminds me of, like, remember WoW when you'd like defeat like one of the harder raids, and like it would put like the dragon's head on a stick in the. For me, it was Horde, so it was just a dragon's head on the stick.
Right, whenever Onyxia was killed.
Yeah, doesn't that get? Wouldn't that give like a bonus or something?
Yes, if you walked into the city, you'd get like some kind of crazy stat buff for like 12 hours.
Like, what if like every time like someone defeated the bosses in here or something, it like slightly increased the Mystic Forge drop rates or something for an hour, like, you know, whatever. But
someone does hard mode in one of the, like, they do a challenge mode in the dungeon, and it gives a global buff or something. That's actually kind of a cool idea.
I mean, the only thing about that is it would just be a constant uptime because people are completing the raid constantly. It would be like,
well, that's why Jim was saying even like a hard mode or something, if there is one in there. I mean,
it would be like the favor of the gods system in Guild Wars 1, where you just always had it because there was always a team winning in Hall of Heroes.
And that's why one thing I was thinking of was, like, would they attach it to like maybe the server, like each, you know, server thing? But I don't know, that they're starting to move away from that server system in all their game modes, so I wouldn't see them implementing that. But I don't know, it was just something I instantly thought of when we were talking about, you know, saving the Mystic Clovers from a from a boss. But I think that would be great. Be like, I don't know, it'd make people more invested in like other people doing the raids. Like, sweet, this is the perfect time for me to, you know, go for my Mystic Clovers or go for, you know, a precursor.
Yeah, and I mean, they could always make like your little squad leader's name pop up in the chat box, so everybody can PM them and be like, thank you for the buff, or just roast them, you know, either way.
And chat's going the other way. Unless you successfully defeat the last boss of Wing 6, all you'll get from throwing stuff into the Mystic Forge will be junk. Yeah.
Oof.
If that was the case,
four rares, you get a pile of scrap metal or something.
Yeah, until you defeat the raid boss.
Big oof for me.
Yeah, that might be an uninstall for a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that would be the second coming of Bless.
Ooh, dire words from Deo.
Damn, dude.
I'm just saying that would be bad.
The savagery on the podcast this week.
I have to agree with him a little bit there. It's a little oof.
But yeah, so, and like chat was saying, I saw earlier, chat's beating us to all the little bits of news. Jeez, we should just blow up the chat thing and just have them do the whole thing.
It's okay. But, we're done. You guys do the show.
Yeah. But I saw them mentioning that with this update, they're going to actually change the raid tokens of, I believe, the previous raid wing and this one. So you can still earn, legendary insights from the original raid wings, but the Underworld one and this one, you will now receive legendary divinations, which is just a new, you know.
It's just Path of Fire MacGuffin versus Heart of Thorns MacGuffin.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't come out with it. They probably didn't want to just throw an unusable item in the game, so I'm going to assume they're going to be used for something right away.
There might be probably the ongoing, because all of Coalescence isn't out yet, right? So probably be required for one of the tiers of the Coalescence collection.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's not out all the way. I'm pretty sure it's not.
QED, you shut your mouth.
And disable the Mystic Forge till successful. Yeah. That was the last day of that intern's work there.
Like, honestly, I saw in my head the conference table meme, and it's like the intern is just the one sitting there, and then thrown out the window.
Hey, they could always give out free vouchers for Kung Fu tea, bubble tea for every raid completion.
Ouch.
Oh.
I mean, while we were going there, I had to just drag us.
Oh no, I'm thinking like maybe there's like a little like because there's so much stuff in this raid area. What if there was just like a tea set with the bubble tea stuff, just as a little nod to, and everybody's sitting there sipping and has their Guild Wars 2 outfit on that no one got or some people got.
Yeah, maybe if you use your free bubble tea voucher, you get a bubble tea focus skin. It's just a cup of Kung
and
Fu tea.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, go watch last week's show where we talk more about that debacle. I don't think anything else is developed from that. They're kind of.
Nope, we're just pouring salt in the wound at this point.
Let's stop. Let's just stop.
It's good goof material.
But also the nice thing is when you complete what I believe Living World, or the new Living World like meta achievement, you can actually earn, or they just refer to it as a star to guide us, which I'm assuming that's what it's relating to, the Living World. You'll receive a set of elegy armor, and you can see it here, and you can, I guess, pick between light, medium, and heavy, and then you can actually upgrade the armor. And as they say, you can make compassion your armor.
Okay, so hold the presses. We get birthday armor, followed immediately by living story armor, and the medium armor isn't a trench coat.
And the light armor isn't a dress.
And the helm isn't a mask.
Yeah, no, these are. This
and
is
the light
a good
armor has a
set.
kid standing next to him for some reason. It was just a random.
It's one of those legendary effects we're talking about.
I was thinking that too, and I was like,
it's their subtle hint that the ultimate upgrade for this is going to be legendary armor. One of the effects for the light legendary is going to be you actually get a child.
I'm also in with Zekriox. It's like the light set has pants.
Yeah, no, the light set is my favorite out of all three of these because it's like a shirt and pants, which is like unheard of in Guild Wars 2 light armor. I think that Ascalon Catacombs set is the only light armor set where you get a shirt and pants. Otherwise, it's all dresses. So it feels good.
Aaron, who are we blaming? Is it Zlint? Yeah, it's Zlint's fault if it upgrades into a cape.
It is.
Right?
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it is Zlint's fault.
Officially, it's Zlint's fault. We talked about this on Zero to Hero this week.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's Zlint's fault.
Maybe that's why the kid's there. He's like, "Where's your dress at?" Like, that's what you should be wearing, right? That's.
Oh man, yeah, it's definitely legendary armor, guys. The child is a +1.
That would be interesting if they're talking about this is upgradable armor. Like, I mean, we had a legendary trinket in the past living story. What if you could get legendary armor by backtracking throughout this season's living story?
That's dangerously close to good game design. That's dangerously straying dangerously.
Honestly,
being good.
My issue with I feel like the designation of legendary armor is more the particle effects and the aura and everything.
The aura in this case being a child.
For full disclosure, the child is not a particle effect. Aaron is memeing. Have to do that because someone on the internet will take him seriously.
We'll get the armor and go, where's my little kid that's supposed to follow me around? Aaron told me.
So
someone's going to be on the YouTube comments like, that kid's not a legendary armor effect. I don't think it is.
No, it's a hint at the next
honestly,
legendary weapon effect.
Even if it's just going back and updating the armor to do the same thing, like doing a PvE version of what PvP and WvW can do, and upgrading Ascended gear into stat swappable gear like Legendary, and giving it the Legendary effect.
Yeah.
I think, yes, Jim, I would love that because I don't raid, right? So I'm making World versus World Legendary armor right now, which is awful. So I would love a PvE option for Legendary armor that wasn't raids. But I don't obviously, I think this is just going to be for anybody who did the Banner of the Dauntless Commander or the IG Inquest back piece. It's going to be like that. You're going to upgrade it through collections and probably some crafting recipes. So it's probably going to be pretty chill. But the skin's probably going to change as you upgrade it. So that'll be cool.
I don't know. It's just that one thing where, like, I know people would say, "Oh, PvE has actual Legendary armor for stat swapping." It's like, kind of. I want not Legendary. Like, I don't need the dark purple. I just want the pink Ascended, and then right-click select stats. That's it.
See, I'm the opposite. I want the purple so I can say that I have Legendary armor.
I don't care. It's the same stats. It's the same stat value. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to be able to hot swap the stats.
I need to be able to say that I have Legendary armor.
Well, see, that's why I said, Monica, that's why I said earlier that, like, to me, Legendary is the particle effects and the aura and, like, everything on top of, like, stat swapping to me is not, at this point, since they've made it available to other sections of the game, it doesn't strike me as being like, this is what Legendary is.
Oh yeah, I've said in the past, I'm not surprised, that I wouldn't be surprised if they sold the ability to attach something to your armor in the gem store, because in the end, that's a convenience thing.
Yeah.
Stop it.
That's the drawback when you have that thing that allows you to stat swap. A child just follows you around, going, "What kind of armor are you wearing now? What stats? What stats? Huh?"
Do you think it has dialogue?
Oh god, that would be more annoying than the backpack.
You swap it to it's got like quippy comments. You swap it to Knight's gear. It's like, tough guy, huh?
Oh, I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. I want a little kid praising me when I'm smashing in like centaurs.
No.
This reminds me of the
full disclosure. It's not Legendary armor, guys. Full disclosure.
Yeah, I really doubt it, but
to quickly address Chat's point, World versus World Legendary armor. I don't know about PvP, but in World versus World, the Legendary armor basically is just waiting for Legendary armor. It's a long wait, but it's a ticket gate at the end of the day. So you kind of do just wait for Legendary armor, at least in World versus World. I know it waits.
Which we talked about on Vote to Kick this week.
Truth, time gating. Yes, guys, go check out Vote to Kick. Plug.
Yeah, it was. I watched the first half of it when I was on my lunch break, and I was like, "Oh, this is really good." I'm kind of technically a part of it.
It was a fun one. It was a fun one.
It's not like this crap show. I love talking Skritt. It was a joke.
Joe, I mean, Deo had to be. He's getting so savage this episode. He's roasting his own show.
Yeah, I turned it on me. I mean, come on. This is 189 episodes. If I didn't like it, I mean,
when you've got no one left to roast, you just turn on yourself.
But also that's coming in the next update, and we talked a little bit about it because they kind of hinted at it, was the new upgradable instance, the Sun's Refuge, which they gave us a couple of screenshots for that packet in that little bundle of stuff as well. But yeah, basically upgrade the ancient cavern into a perfect shelter for your allies, catch up with them, and they may have information that will lead you to new content and rewards. Then
this is the thing I'm most curious about. It sounds like a lot of fun, but it also sounds like it could cost you an arm and a leg to.
That is probably one worrying thing, yeah.
I just don't want to. It's cool. It's a cool idea, right? But I don't want to shell out all the money for it. But I know I'm going to. That's the thing. And I don't mean money just in terms of gold. I don't know if there will be gold sinks with this or not, but just whatever resource sinks there are, I'm not looking forward to it.
100% Mithrin brings up what I've been saying since since the beginning is that Dragon's Watch needs a guild hall, because, and this is we were talking about this on Zero to Hero past week, me and Aaron. It was just they need to do more with the guild hall tech, because they went through the trouble of making it, and other than a few guilds that spend the time, that are big enough to spend the time to grind up all the scribing stuff, it's not really...
For one person, because it's profession based, so it's per character for a guild. Like
it's per character for a guild profession.
Yeah, they made all this. Yeah, I know what you're like. They made all this guild stuff. Then they just decided that guilds didn't need to be a part of the game anymore. Yeah,
it's not so much that they don't need to be part of the. That's kind of one of the bigger issues with guilds in MMOs, which I think is actually making a note of that. Guilds, vote to kick.
Kick guilds? Why would you kick guilds, man?
Yeah, we would just have wars too. That's what does that mean?
I think I might actually argue. I might jump ship to the con side for that one to argue that. But
there have been worse game names than wars too, though.
But
yeah, like Bless.
But
there's a game called Genital Jousting. I'm just saying.
Hey, that is a story.
Anyway,
yeah.
Back to the upgradable instance. I'm all for this. I am all for the concept of something that is account based, that is progression, that is this is lateral progression. 100%. I love it. This is something that you can work towards. Your friends can help you work towards. You can help them work towards it with their own stuff. Yeah, no, this is good. Implementation, I don't know yet because it's not out, but if it's good, it's fantastic.
It's conceptually strong. It's similar to the Hall of Monuments of Guild Wars 1, right? Which was a fun little personally upgradable instance that I really enjoyed. So I know I kind of joked about not wanting to like spend resources on it, but ultimately it's actually going to be nice to have something to kind of plunk away at. So I am with Jim. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I did want to make a comment. I like how you guys said Hall of Monuments, and I remember when they kind of teased this, last week or the week before, where I'm like, God, this is like the Hall of Monuments. Does that mean this is the end of the game? Guild Wars 3? We're coming to Guild Wars 3? You got to put up all your crowning achievements so things can carry over to Guild Wars 3?
Oh, dude. No comment.
Okay, so Zacharias does bring up a good point in chat about the garrison system from Warlords of Draenor in World of Warcraft. The reason that was negatively received is because it eventually was capable of handling everything for you. You would show up, you'd go to your buildings, you basically have buildings that could do other crafting professions for you, and you didn't really have to interact with anyone else. They even gave you a second Hearthstone that took you from wherever you were to your garrison as opposed to where your Hearthstone was bound. So as far as I heard is that people just spent time in their garrison and never left. Now, we've seen guild halls come into the game. They're not going to add stuff that keeps you from wanting to go to major cities. They're not. Yeah,
that was their one worry with guild halls.
Exactly. We're not going to have crafting. We might have like a crafting thing because guild halls have the scribing so you can get to your bank, but you're not going to have Black Lion trading post. You're not going to have, like, I'm seeing like unique vendors, maybe some unique harvesting nodes, stuff like that. But I'm not, honestly, maybe I would love the idea of being able to send out NPCs to go do stuff for you.
I don't like that. I don't like anything that plays the game for you.
Well, see, that's the thing, is it doesn't play the game for you because you can go out and do other stuff while they are doing stuff for you. Because if you just sit there and let the
Aaron, you could send a hireling to go silver waste farming.
Exactly. Like I think if you're going to accumulate resources in the game, you should have to do it yourself.
Right, and I totally agree with that. It's more the fact that like it would have to be like unique stuff that would be focused on that you would have to interact with to turn into other resources. Like it would be a layer of obfuscation to prevent someone from just sitting in there and waiting and then just getting a shit ton of resources and selling them on the trading post.
Mm-hmm.
So they can go out and scavenge, and you get like building materials. And then you can build a thing that can do something else.
So maybe they can go get things that are specific to upgrading the instance.
Right.
Like if you need quarried stone, for instance, they could go out and gather quarried stone. Doesn't have any value other than upgrading the instance. I think that would be safe. Yeah, that would be safe.
And it like eventually, yes, could it turn into some materials, but that would be like
through a player refinement process.
Right. That's like absolute end tier to me.
Mhm.
Like I do, but that to be fair, I'm a huge fan of city builder games, so that's probably my love of city builder stuff coming through.
No, I wouldn't mind like I wouldn't say enclosed system, but like kind of like how Aaron was saying, like, you know, you need quarry stone or something, you know, specific stuff that's they go and get it to build up that area, not, you know, oh, they just
Like,
got me some Delgermore ingots so I could sell them on the trading post. Like that would probably be bad, and like chat saying it could
Like,
ruin the market. Or
Monica is saying in chat, it's like quarried stone can be turned into a crafting random recipe to get random ore. Like eventually some kind of payout, but only after you've put in due process for building up processing like that.
I mean, these are all great ideas, but let's be honest,
It's already finished.
It's going to be a gem store fest. Yeah, it's going to be a gem store fest.
I mean, it's already finished, so I'm just, you know, spitballing what I would love to see. But
yeah, you might be able to buy quarried stone on the gem store, but you're not going to be able to get it in game. I'm just joking, guys. I don't know if it's going to be.
No, I could see things being like.
I could
like,
too.
I mean, it's kind of like the home instance. I could see them adding nodes to that, or though that would be interesting because this is primarily through a living story episode, so not everybody's going to have it after the next, you know. But when you buy the game, no matter what version you buy, you get the home instance. Like that's a constant for everyone.
Except they haven't done anything with the home instance except add more nodes to it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, they're using the gem store, but the worry of them adding something to the gem store that could only be used in something that you might not have might not feel too good for someone that, unless there's like tech in there that you can't see it unless you have the thing unlocked.
They sell mount skins, and if you don't have Path of Fire, you could technically buy them, but not.
Oh yeah, no, they don't care about that. No.
Okay.
They'll sell what they please.
Well,
right.
To be fair, that's kind of buyer beware thing, because why would you buy something that you can't use?
Unless you thought you could use it, but you didn't know.
That's more like at that point, but like mounts, or this is for X instance. Like it's pretty clearly labeled.
I could see a new player to the game who just had the core game buying mount skins thinking they would be mounts. I could see someone doing that if they didn't do their research. That's on you.
For some of the if you're playing like a Eastern MMO and you see a mount skin that's $20, I could see them thinking, exactly. I could see some people thinking that it must be a mount.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
I'd be all for Claw Island actually being a guild hall, because
Claw Island's cool.
Yeah, I was gonna go with what Zecharox was asking was, do you guys think there's going to be other personal instances like down the road, or?
The only question I would have for that would be, what would be the point?
Only if they make player housing a thing.
Yeah, if player housing would open up a lot of possibilities there, right? But the whole point of this upgradable instance isn't just for you to have something to upgrade. It's going to serve a purpose within the story, right? It's probably going to be a hub where we meet up with all the characters at the beginning of each episode to kind of do dialogue and get the ball rolling and stuff like that. It could be a guild hall for Dragon's Watch. It could be a setting for multiple quests to actually take place inside. Like, it's going to have pertinence to the story. So I would just want there to be a reason for future personal instances to show up. I wouldn't want them to just be there like, hey, upgrade this if you want. So that'd be my only concern.
Oh, and Chad is saying you can't buy mounts unless you have POF, so it does protect you from that.
Okay, that's cool.
Though that would be interesting, and I'm also even thinking of what if I don't know if they'll do it for this one, but maybe as we venture out further, it starts as a personal interest or instance, and as more people build it up, it'll hit a threshold, and then it's like, you know what? Now this is a public like town, like a Lion's Arch or a a new city that the players have kind of built up.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, my like in Zekriok says it would be a hub based around the current story. Maybe we'll see that in future X packs. That would be cool, but it would almost make me, if I funneled a lot of resources into this story hub, right, and it was only pertinent for that story, and then we moved on from it, that'd feel kind of bad if we didn't keep using it. That would.
Well, this goes back to me thinking about like unique vendors. There are still the pack supply agents that people go and get stuff off of, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a Heart of Thorns deal.
I mean, you can. Those are just karma vendors, though, right? They're not something you have to personally upgrade yourself. As far as you get a mastery for them, but also we don't know what is going to go into upgrading this instance. Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to be a pain in the ass. So that's kind of the perspective I'm coming from on this instance, is that it's going to be a pain in the ass to get this thing maxed out. I could be wrong. It could be super easy. You could be able to do it in a couple hours. But
I guarantee it's not going to be hours.
I mean, that's what the devs probably say before every release, before Dwarrior has the whole thing done in 30 minutes.
I mean, that's...
Well, but I'm sure he also shovels a lot of gold or whatnot added to. So yeah,
probably.
You can like speed through things if you have the funds to do it. But
yeah, I'm just saying that's what the devs probably say before every release.
Unless, of course, it's time gated and you can only contribute so much to the construction every day.
Oh, it's almost positively time gated. I'm almost positive it's going to be.
Have they not watched Vote to Kick?
Yeah,
we're just constantly plugging our own crap. I don't know.
I'm very sure it's going to be time gated.
Yeah, I would imagine there's going to be some aspect at some point that's time gated through it.
Yep, because then maybe they can add collections with it, achievements.
Yeah, because maybe there's like different tiers of it, kind of like crafting disciplines. So maybe not the first couple ones, but like like when we got to Ascended, there's time gating, but I could see that happening a lot sooner. But maybe like the first 1 or 2 tiers, depending on how many there are, being like, oh yeah, you can just craft as much as you want. You build it up to this certain spot, and it's like, okay, now we're slowing you down, type thing. Or
kind of like guild halls, how the first few levels are super easy to blow through, and then when you hit the higher tiers, it starts to really stagnate. And again, we don't know how much progression is going to be in this thing. Like it could, like Zekriok says, it should be a couple months. It could be a couple months. It could be a couple weeks. Could be a couple days. We have no idea what level of dedication we're going to have to put into this instance to, or how useful it's going to be in the first place. So that's all up in the air.
Any final thoughts on all this new stuff coming Tuesday?
It's not Cantha.
Okay.
You're not going to be happy until it's Cantha, are you?
Nope. I'm sick of the desert, man. It's all brown and dry, and I'm tired of it.
Full of sand. You hate sand.
Sand gets everywhere.
Yeah, it gets it's coarse and rough.
Oh boy.
Not like Cantha.
Not like
Cantha's smooth.
Full of plague.
True that.
Tengu playable 2020. Yeah.
Might be jumping the gun there, Mithrin.
I would love it, but
maybe playable Tengu tonic.
Hey, tonics in the wardrobe, guys.
There you go.
In the wardrobe.
Oh, did they actually add them?
No, not yet. As far as
I'm okay. I thought they did this week. I was like, oh, okay, that was quicker than I thought.
I don't think they're in yet. No,
they haven't released that yet.
All right. Well, also this week, WvW Bloodlust and WvW week-long bonus. So from 11 a.m. Pacific time on September 28th to 11 a.m. Pacific time on October 5th. Bonuses while playing WvW is receive a 25% bonus to reward track progress. So hey, if you're trying to go after those legendary armor, double world XP for War v World, and receive a 50% bonus to Magic Find. Yeah.
If you still need your rank 2K for Sublime WW armor, that would be the week to put some work in.
It's more the next bit that I'm kind of looking at.
Oh, the enhanced Bloodlust gameplay variant. So minor, major, and superior Bloodlust will grant an additional 5%, 15%, or 30% bonus, respectively, to power, precision, toughness, vitality, condition damage, healing power, and ferocity. Increase your Bloodlust by capturing ruins of power in multiple borderlands.
30% is actually ridiculous. Like, that's actually worth like, to put it in perspective, I think ruins give like an extra 30 points to those attributes total right now. 30%?
Yeah.
Guys, people might actually capture ruins.
The only time I just see random people cap them.
Yeah, no, because I think people who don't play a lot of WW think like, oh, there's a thing I can go do, and then when they cap it, they're like, oh, I didn't get any world experience. This could actually make ruins worth capturing and maybe even fighting over and defending? Question mark. So, yeah, dude, 30%. That's where you start talking like 10 people defeating 30 people, right? If you got a 30% attribute boost. Whew.
Yeah,
that's heavy.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know QED is going to have a blast with that. QED, let's see how many Zergs you can 5v50 with enhanced Bloodlust.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's a bit insane, but I'm liking these ideas of these different variants. I mean, we had the cannot once you're down, if you're downed, you're dead type thing. We've had that for
what was it? The Alpha Golem week, where Alpha Golems were like a quarter of the usual cost to build.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Double speed or something.
So, obviously, what I'm most excited about is the double world XP, because that's I don't need world ranks for anything, but it's just fun having a big number next to your name, right? So that's gonna be fun.
I might try to, like when you suggested, slowly go, because every once in a while try to slowly go, like, I'll go for that World v World armor, take a couple chips out, and go, I'm done trying to go for World v World armor. So this.
The interesting thing about World v World Legendary Armor is all you have to do the only World v World requirement to get it is 8,000 tickets. That's it. Now, if you can get 365 tickets a week, if you just max out your tickets every week for 22 weeks, you can get it. There's no actual rank requirement. The rank requirement is just for the Sublime.
That's for the
That's for the fancy tendrils on the chest piece, right?
Yeah. So if you wanted to work on it incrementally, you can totally do it. But it's heavily time gated.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, this will be nice for people going for the Sublime. This will be nice for people who don't have 350 yet for Warbringer. It'll be good for all that, and it'll obviously be good for fun, just for the 30% stat increase.
Hopefully, it gets more butts in the seats, and that for me, that's when World v World's fun. Is like you're having big battles, like
World v World,
not at forts, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. World v World is pretty active during peak hours, but yeah, it can get a little dead at night, right? So maybe we'll see a little more activity around the clock with this buff going. I do like that QED mentions if you struggle with dead eyes now, just imagine the 30% damage buff on top of that. Oh, dude.
The pain.
Guys, for those of you who've never faced a rifle deadeye in WW, especially if they get the drop on you, it's pretty much insta-death.
Well, if they get the drop on you, you're probably dead.
Exactly, yeah. And if you, like, I run a little tanky in WW. I run Celestial Armor in WW, which gives you a little bit of extra vitality and toughness. So they usually can't one-shot drop me, but with 30% buff to attributes, they could one-shot drop me, even with 24k health and a decent chunk of armor. So it's going to be a Deadeye, like, fiesta during that week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's 100%. I totally see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many places for a Deadeye to just be kind of like up above and just, oh, hey, there's a target. Thunk.
Oh, that sentry that's in the northeast, the northeast sentry before the camp in Borderlands, cliffs on both sides.
Yep.
It's a Deadeye haven.
And Shadowcat has a point. Power Reaper and WW, just the cleave.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh.
Fights. That's gonna be nuts.
Oh my god, dude! Ever since I've been playing PvP, just I get like whenever I see that spinning scythe, I just go, oh, I just kind of give up.
Yeah, so I can't wait to actually deal with that in World v World. Might have to actually hop in, maybe gather a little group for Yax Ben. Anybody else on Yax Ben? I was gonna say, you said we're fighting Age this week, or are you still?
Yeah, we're against Crystal Desert this week. So
this won't show up until the end of the month. So
yeah,
it's not this week. It's
I'm saying we go in this week just to mess up Age, and
we could.
We do that.
Yeah, we're not going to win this week though because we're against Henjivd and Ravi, which is a juggernaut of destruction. So yeah, we're going to come in last place this week, unfortunately.
Oh, see, some people in chat are on Yax Ben, so.
Oh, nice.
You can save you can save me because I know I'll be bad. But next up, ArenaNet actually put out a new site, or an updated their website, and not Guild Wars 2, but ArenaNet's actual company website. I actually took a little video of it, kind of going through all the looks of it, but new kind of art and graphics on it. It looks absolutely beautiful. Gives justice to the art that is Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2. So
yeah, if you'd ever been to the ArenaNet website before this, it was like straight out of 2002. Like it was not a pleasant place to be. So it's kind of nice they did this overhaul. I saw a couple of the devs tweet about it. Looks pretty good.
That's some good CSS. I dig that. That's well done.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a guy I used to write with at Guild Mag, Chris, and he's one of their web developers now. I'm curious if he worked on this or not.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely was really nice looking. And hey, go check it out. Career section, little history of ArenaNet. Details on their games, which I think are just primarily Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2. But yeah, when we now it won't be such an eyesore when we talk about, hey, there's a job posting if you're talented at it, and go there. Yeah. Now it'll actually look nice.
Yeah, it was always a sad time when you go on ArenaNet's website and go, oh.
It definitely looked like a business website, like a standard business website.
That happens with a lot of game companies. Like the website for their game. Fantastic, beautiful, gorgeous. Business site, really goddamn boring.
Yeah.
So, like it's the same thing for Riot Games. Like the Riot Games website, kind of boring. Like League of Legends site, great. Riot Games site, I think it's better now, but I think this is pretty common with a lot of companies anymore. Is they're sprucing up their business site because people actually care about that now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like it though. I like it. I think it looks cool.
Oh, chat saying the website's fake. That doesn't list the Ritlock's Critter Rampage on there. They should.
I mean, yeah, it is a legendary title in the Guild Wars 2 franchise. So
yeah.
I think there was also didn't Shaman also make a kart racer, if I'm not mistaken.
That does sound familiar. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Did. Yeah, he made a couple of those.
But hopefully this generates interest in their games, and maybe generates some sales, like sales in the gem store. So weirdly, I have nothing to show Gemstore wise, because really the only new thing we got was actually a World Boss Portal device. So if you wanted to see screenshots of UI, but it basically World Boss Portal device, it's 400 gems. But what's interesting about it And I still will give the plug, always thank you to Dolphy.net, collects all this information. She does have a video up there if you want to. Just check it out, Dolphy.net. So you spend your gems more wisely. But, it has a video of her using it and working with it. But basically just shows brings up a UI like the tome book things from the living story things. You just kind of click through it, and it actually will say if there's a boss that's happening, and it will take you to the boss. It will actually teleport, take you to the waypoint, even if it is contested, which that's interesting. But it also, I think with this, it actually unlocks a chat, or unlocks the ability for it to show up in chat and notifies you as well, which I thought was kind of interesting. I was like, can't that just be a standard thing in the game? Like a feature in the game where, you could activate it and it lets you know when a big event's happening in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it could be in the game, but it makes more money if it's on the gem store, right?
I know.
To be honest, making money, this is 400 gems. Like if you pay if you are somebody who pays attention to the world boss train and you run the world boss train a lot, 400 gems is do it, because this is super useful for you.
Oh yeah, I think
that's
someone
honestly
was saying it's around 130-ish gold or so. And if you're running that constantly, you'll probably make your money back with a little over a year, if that's all you're. But
yeah, honestly, if you do the world bosses a lot, I would get it. Like Jim said, it's only 400 gems, so it's pretty impossible to be offended by something that's 400 gems, right? It's $5. Just buy. I don't do the world boss train, so I didn't buy it. But there are a lot of people who still do it a lot. So yeah, if you do that, I would buy it.
Though that's the weird thing. It only works on core world bosses. It does not work on Heart of Thorns or the POF ones, which is a shame as well.
I mean, they're less. I mean, I guess they are world bosses, but they're more their format is different, because world bosses are you do a precursor event and then a boss pops, whereas Dragon Stand or Orc Basin or something like that is an hour and a half of constantly progressing a large overarching thing. So it wouldn't make as much sense to have one location to port to for those. But for the core Tyria ones, it's a pretty simple 400 gem item. So,
and QED does bring up a good point about the rewards of world bosses, which I honestly think all of them need a meta, kind of like they did with the Shatterer, with a unique skin on top of that, which I think would probably go a long way to selling this.
Yeah. Imagine if every world boss had a rare chance at a unique ascended skin like a Tequatl can give. People might do them a little more. I mean, people do them. They're full every time I see it. There's a huge Zerg doing every single one of them every time I end up at one for a collection or whatever. But they might have better standing in the veteran player community if they had a bit of a drop revamp, right? Because the revamp was in 2013. I think they gave a guaranteed rare, and that was revolutionary at the time, right? It's not super economically viable anymore 6 years down the line.
Because what? I'm sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say they might want to revamp them to be more viable.
The one staff scythe only drops from
the gargoyle thing.
Final Rest
from Shadow Behemoth. Final Rest.
It's not expensive though. It's 2 gold on the TP or whatever. But the ascended skins from Tequatl that have they're dripping with Ichor, right? Those are super rare. It's very rare to get that from Tequatls, and that's why people do Tequatl. Although I mean, Tequatl's rewards are better than your average world boss, right? But it's also nice to have that chance,
that piece kind of fight. So
yeah, so I'd love to see. They wouldn't have to do it because Tequatl's a whole set of augmented ascended weapons, right? They wouldn't necessarily have to do a whole set of augmented skins, but maybe you add one unique ascended item that's a super rare drop chance to every world boss.
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
That's account bound, so it's not like you'd have a market on the TP for that. Wouldn't just suddenly drop out of value.
Exactly. It just might get people, a little veteran players who are interested in unlocking skins or interested in fashion wars, a little more interested in doing world bosses again. Because from what I understand, it's mostly newer players that are doing world bosses because it's an easy way to get rares without having to have much game experience. So a lot of those Zergs are going to be newer players in the like 1 to 2 month playtime range. It would be kind of cool to get, like, I'd love a reason to get back into it. You know, Shatter's a fun fight. Tequaddle's a fun fight.
I don't mind Mithrin's idea about the legendary bounties with getting a currency instead, and so you can buy the recipes to craft stuff.
Yeah, true. No, currencies are always a good way to get people doing stuff, right? Guild Wars 2 is definitely a game that understands that.
And Mithrin, I do understand like not liking RNG with no way to guarantee it. I would like I kind of like a kind of dual system where like there are 1 or 2 drops per world boss that would be like some kind of crazy, like this is you can only get it from loot, you can't buy it using the currency, but then also having like a set of exotic skins or something that you'd be able to buy the crafting recipes for.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't have a problem with RNG as long as you're rewarded for your time baseline. So yeah, I like something like that. I think the currency would be like a Corteria world boss currency would be awesome. Like the Elegy mosaics. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe a currency where eventually you can get legendary armor.
Oh, Dale, you're taunting me. Just taunted me with that non-raid PvE legendary armor. I want it so bad, guys. I would make it. I would pay 10,000 gold for PvE non-raid legendary armor. I'm not lying. I would pay 10,000 gold for that.
There you go, ain't it?
They're just like, no, you have to raid. You have to raid, or you have to do PvP. You have to do WvW. And I'm like,
which dev is that?
That's I'm not going to label anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of them watch our show. So
yeah, I think that would be slanderous to label a specific dev.
Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, and guess which dev that was.
It's pretty much the polar opposite of Mike O'Brien, if you've ever heard his voice.
So see, look, Mo's out. There we go.
Yeah, it's not Mo. Mo, don't suspend my account, please.
Oh boy.
And before account ban.
So the world boss portal device, 400 gems. Like we said, it's a pretty low cost thing. If you do world boss trains a lot, definitely worth it. I mean, especially I saw chat saying you don't really need the waypoint. Like if you're playing a new character, it'll take you to that waypoint, give you it and all that stuff. So it's really nice on new characters, but yeah, definitely worth picking up if you do world boss trains.
For sure.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I'd love to, like, if what we were talking about just now with like the better rewards for world bosses, I might buy this if there were better rewards for world bosses. So
yeah,
you know, they could go hand in hand.
I definitely agree. Some returning items for the gem store. Oh, we were just talking about these types of things. Shrine Guardian Jackal skin, 2,000 gems. The Infinite Volatile Magic Gathering Tools for 2,700 gems. And that's all 3, you know, you get it as a bundle. The Elite Reinforcement Package for 300 gems. You can buy 2 at most. But yeah, would you guys recommend any of those things to pick up?
If you're willing to spend 2k gems on a mount skin, the Shrine Guardian is pretty boss looking.
Is that Ninetail?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, that is
the die channels are pretty cool on it too, except I think like the face markings are the same as the detail on the mount on the saddle. So it's kind of wonky with the die channels on that, but it's a pretty solid skin. Did we go over the leaving soon, or did you just have the return?
But yeah, the leaving soon stuff is the Phalanx heavy armor skin, the Viper medium armor skin, and the Trickster's light armor skin for 500 gems a piece. Like,
buy the Phalanx and the Vipers; they're good armor sets.
Yes, like Phalanx, and they're armor sets. They are armor sets, not
so you can mix and match.
Yeah, if you have the money to buy those, and you like playing Fashion Wars at all, even if you're not going to wear them, I would recommend it because you never know when they could come in handy. They're just good armor sets that mix well with other ones,
Yes.
and they'll look good by themselves, and they could come in handy in the future if you guys like them. The Trickster is actually not bad either. I don't personally like it that much, but honestly, it's not a bad armor set.
You can get a couple good pieces out of it depending on what your theme you're making your character for. That's the ultimate.
If you like Fashion Wars and you could afford to grab these, I would snag them before they leave.
Like Chad's saying, they use the Viper for the mini skirt. So there you go. That's
also, if you like Infinite Gathering tools, the volatile magic ones that you mentioned, those are back in the gem store. The volatile magic and unbound magic ones both accumulate a lot of currency for you as you use them. So if you are going to do Infinite Gathering tools, the VM ones are a really good option.
Absolutely.
And you're getting them for
VM
cheaper.
Converts to gold so well.
And you're getting it for cheaper, since if you're planning on buying a full set of gathering tools separately, that would cost you 3,000 gems. The whole set for the infinite volatile magic gathering tools are 2,700. So you're getting, you're saving 300 gems. Throw in a couple more 100 gems. You could either get the portal device or another 100 gems. You can pick up some of that armor skins before they leave. There you go.
I will disagree with Carnifex in chat. For Phalanx shoulder pieces on male Sylvari are kind of dumb, because for whatever reason, male Sylvari have their shoulder models turned up to 11.
Interesting.
Like they're just huge. If you're into that, it's cool, but it looks like a Norn was supposed to wear them, not a Sylvari.
You mean if you're a WoW player? Yeah.
I mean, like you just kind of get like the entire character silhouette becomes a triangle, because shoulders all the way, like the line just gets drawn right to the feet, and it's like you're a Dorito walking around.
Yeah. Guys, did I tell you, you guys remember how against Infinite Gathering tools I used to be?
Yes.
I have 4 sets now.
Yep.
Catching up to Harley.
I caved. Yeah, I caved. Dude, I caved hard on
it. You caved hard.
I still fundamentally believe they are the most overpriced items on the gem store, but they're good.
They're nice to have.
I'm not going to go as far as to say they're worth what they cost, but they're worth it to me.
Everybody, he broke.
I did. Yeah, I broke.
ArenaNet's just sitting there sitting there going, in the end, they're always mine.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Gem Store?
Not as offensive this week as normal.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. I was like, we really don't have anything to show off that's new.
Yeah, not too much to roast, unfortunately.
Yeah. They knew you were coming on the show, so they were like, let's not put any swords or something out with hilts.
They're like wiping sweat off. Whew.
But last up, Community Corner, and we spoke about it last week, but we're just kind of giving another reminder of the Kit the Traveler's Legendary Contest. I'll throw her website in chat just in case, and if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be linked in the description. But you can... She's doing a 20 legendary giveaway. So 5 on Twitch, 5 on Reddit, 5 on Twitter, and 5 on Guild Wars 2's forums. You can enter in each method, but only win once. So, you have lots of chances, but you can only win one of the legendaries. It will be drawn on December 24th. Last day to enter will be December 1st. So that's, time's ticking. But yeah, it's awesome, awesome opportunity, awesome thing that Kit's doing. And
that's a hell of a giveaway, my friend. That's a hell of a giveaway. It's a lot of work went into that.
So yeah, link to her website that has all the details, and I think links to each of the things like the Guild Wars 2 forum post that she put up earlier in the year. But yeah, definitely awesome to, awesome to see that happening, and can't wait to see who wins.
Yep.
Another thing in Community Corner was this past week, Guild Wars 2 actually issued a challenge, but to who, you may ask? They issued it to Arby's. So we have the tweet here, and they're asking Arby's to make a sandwich that looks like Ritlock. And I think it took them, I think they responded like in a couple hours, but they did respond with their take on Ritlock in Arby's sandwich form, and there you go. And holy crap,
They nailed it.
This needs to be, enshrined in Meattoberfest.
It does.
Yeah.
This needs to be like, this is one of the things that if you were to like go to ArenaNet and have like a visit, this is one of the things I feel like you'd find in like a preserved frozen glass case.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say this is what they'll serve in their kitchen, like when you like
that'd be
when the
amazing.
fans go,
That'd be amazing.
they're like, here's your food. It's like
Like
oh my
if they
god.
Like if you're like somebody important, like Wooden Potatoes, right? And you get brought to ArenaNet, they had like serve you a lunch tray of Arby's Ritlock
A
heads.
lunch tray of Ritlock.
The Destiny's Edge platter.
Yeah, but I can just imagine like being toured through ArenaNet and them opening like a freezer shrine and them being like, "This is our Arby's Ritlock. He's been here for 2 years now. We're very proud of him." And then this way, like.
I'm just, you're saying the Destiny's Edge platter. I'm just thinking of other things like Logan's baby back ribs because his back he'd be running away.
Oh yeah, no. Obviously.
I guess Keith would just be a salad. I guess you can, I don't know how you'd want to. Huh. So a CERN would be like a short stack of pancakes. I don't know.
I mean, now you're just roasting Destiny's Edge members.
I'm just trying to think of like
that's not hard.
Oh man,
what would Ares be? I don't know.
Ares really boring. Ares a really boring, uninteresting character.
She'd be like white toast with you can't put anything on it. Like it's just
Snaps would probably just be jelly.
Yeah.
Too soon? Too soon for my boy Snap?
Oh god.
Pour one out. Pour one out for Snap, guys.
But yeah, I mean, I would also like to throw out a plug to Aaron. I mean, you've been throwing up some of your Twitch highlights on your YouTube channel, correct?
Oh, you don't want to plug that.
Come on.
Have you watched any of those, dude? Those are NSFW. Let's just put it that way. This show is so wholesome. Like I feel bad plugging that here.
Well, if you're into it, definitely go check it out.
Guild Wars Monk on YouTube, guys. Guild Wars Monk on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Air is vanilla ice cream. All right. Yeah. Snap is mashed.
That's pretty good.
Snap is mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. That's good. That's good.
Y'all are terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Hey, if anybody else can think of anything, I actually kind of like this game of trying to figure out what would be the Destiny's Edge platter that they would serve at ArenaNet's cafeteria. Because we already have Ritlock. I like all these. Like,
Bram is like a double bacon cheeseburger because his freaking blood pressure is through the roof all the time.
Oh, I would so go there and be like, give me 4 Brams, man.
Look, as much as I have fun doing this, we got to do the outro because otherwise I'm going to get murdered for not helping to clean the rest of the way.
Okay.
Oh man, shutting
that would be great for the pod. That would be great for the podcast. Think of the views. But yep, that is it for this week. And Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MelthanisMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/MADRealms, 2 A's in the MAD, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for our show Vote to Kick, where so far it's been mostly me and Aaron talking about whether to keep or kick things in the gaming industry. Last week we talked about time gating, which you can find that on the YouTube channel for those of you viewing on YouTube. And then after that, we do our 0 to Hero ranked shenanigans, where we're mostly just floating in Gold 2 for the most part.
Yeah, where I hold Jim back from advancing to Platinum, you mean? Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to say you do that,
but it's very obvious from the footage.
Well, where can they find you, Aaron?
Guild Wars Monk, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. I stream 6 nights a week on Twitch at 8 p.m. Pacific. And I post highlight videos of those streams on YouTube. And then I tweet about Guild Wars 2 on Twitter. So Guild Wars Monk, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, guys.
Awesome. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. And hopefully I'll get to play some a little bit more. Probably with the Living Story coming out, I'll probably do my brainwave device thing for that. Probably will be either Tuesday night or Wednesday, sometime before next week, because we'll probably talk about it in a spoiler section on Talking Skritt. So if you're avoiding that, we tend to try to warn people, so you can still watch the actual news bit. But yeah, if you are just popping at the very end, fear not. We do highlight this on Twitch, and we also throw this up on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/MAAD, 2 A's in the MAAD. I think that's how the YouTube thing works. Just search MAAD Realms, or even search Talking Skritt. It should be the first one that pops up for you. But if you are watching this on YouTube and you are able to make it out on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, we do a bit of a pre-show and after-show where it's kind of just more free-form. Yeah. So, definitely love to have you guys out. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out. And also, we also have our own website, maadrealms.com. So that if you don't like YouTube or Twitch for some reason, you can go straight to MAAD Realms, and we that's where we try to post all the videos there and stuff like that, and have audio versions of Talking Skritt. So if that's what you want, that should also be in the link in the description of YouTube. But yes, that is it for this week, and thank you, everybody, for coming out, and we'll see everybody next time for Living Story stuff. That'll be exciting. So take care, everyone.
See you guys.